Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area, and this video will be covering how to insert a title block into your drawing. One thing I do want to point out up front is this is the way that Autocad intended title blocks to be inserted in or brought into drawings, but that doesn't mean that the company you're working for is going to do it this way. I want to say there's approximately 5 or 6 different ways that you can do it, and depending on the reason, there's different reasons for them. But the way I'm going to show you is the way it was intended. So please don't ever go to a company and tell them that they're doing it wrong. Because it may not be the exact way they want it. AutoCAD wanted them to do it, but if it works, it works. Uh, I'm sure you've already watched the videos on blocks and how to insert blocks, and this is going to be doing the same thing. The only difference is we're now going to be going into paper space, which is right here under layout, where I'm going to insert the title block. Now, if you know from my other videos, I tell you that not to utilize things that AutoCAD has created for you. The first thing is this viewport, which I'm going to erase out. Okay, and I'm going to go back to model just to draw some things, just so we have something in the background. So I'm gonna go to layout one. This right here is the space that's given for the sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. Since you may not be using that size in other instances, this tends to cause some confusion. So what I recommend is you go up here to the red A, and go to options, then come right here to display, and leave this checked, but uncheck these. Okay, hit OK. Now you can see it's all dark, so there's no lines there that may confuse me. Um, so now I'm just going to go to insert, and being it's outside my drawing, I'm going to go to browse. I know it's this one right here. Actually, this one, yep, this one right here. And I'm going to set it at 0, 0. Most title blocks are going to be set at 0, 0. This one I know is because I created it, but just make sure that it is 0, 0 when you insert it. For if you're working at a company, hit OK. And in my block, I actually have attributes over here, which you should have saw the video on attributes. I made this active. Here I say date of drawing here, July 2014 example. So I'm going to type in January period 2018. Then it's asking what's the chapter number or any kind of assignment number. Instead of putting 3, put 03. And the reason I give these examples is because that's the spacing that I'm allowing. I don't want you to spell out January and the date and the year, or over here just type 3. You hit OK, and then just hit OK there, and there is your title block. So it's set up in your layout, and then what you're going to need to do is type in MV for make view, enter, and you're going to pick this corner and pick this corner, and now this is showing your drawing, what you've drawn, which obviously you've probably already watched the model space paper space video. If you hadn't, I would stop now and go watch those. And there is your model space, and then your drawing is complete. I do suggest, however, that you go to your layers and create a layer called VP or Viewport. You can make it any color you want. I'll just make it green. I will make it red. But I'm also going to, actually, red. I'm actually going to set it to where it will not print. Okay, so now I'm going to show you something real quick, the difference. I'm going to do a plot, and this is under another video, so don't try to follow me on this. I just want to show you real quick. I'm going to do this video, okay, and actually it really doesn't show up here. So I was thinking I was gonna tell you that this viewport may be a little bit darker since it's going over these other lines. But what I want you to do is take that viewport, highlight it, change it to the viewport scale, a layer, and then now it won't plot. You can see it, you can use it, but it will not plot. Uh, then of course the next thing you'll do is you'll highlight that viewport, right click, and go to display locked. Yes. Now when you open up that viewport, as you notice, the scale won't change. Now one important thing I want to go over is you see that I brought the title block in under the layout. I'm going to actually open up that title block that I used, and this tends to confuse students because the title block is in model space. Okay, you don't want to put your title block in model space because then you have to change the size of your title block. What you want to do is come over here and change the scale of your drawing, but this title block remains 1:1. But so you understand, whenever you insert something, if you insert the whole drawing, only thing that will come in is what's under model space. If you say you did the title block, as you can see, here's a title block here. Anything that's in a layout will not come in when you insert the whole drawing. All of these are stripped away. The only thing you can get is what's in model space. So do not create or put a title block in any kind of paper space or layout, because if you try to insert it or XREF it in, there's another video on XREF, it will not show up. Again, because whenever you insert a whole drawing, it only brings in what is under the model. This is one of the, but let me stop here for a second. I'm going to go to model space on my drawing one. See, if I was to come and insert my title block, as you can see, I'll just hit OK for now. As you can see, it won't fit, so I would have to scale it up. Okay. Now this is how some companies do it, and again, it's when in Rome, do as the Romans. But this is not the preferred. I'm not going to say correct. This is not the preferred way of doing it, because now you've got an odd sheet size. You've got to remember what that is, as opposed to here, my sheet size is 1:1, and so it works. It works fine. Okay. So just remember, not a title block is created in model space, but it is inserted or referenced in the paper space, and that's why it's called paper space or layout. Those are synonymous. If I say layout, I'm also saying paper space. But know that this is where I'm going to just open this up here for a second. Let me go get that layer turned back on here. Let me, oops, wrong one. Let me get this out, go over here, and I'm going to unlock this. And remember that, when you open this window up, if I do this, I'm just changing the scale. I'm not changing the size of this circle. If I measure this circle, if I list it, it's going to tell me that the radius is 2.1533. If I do this and list it, it's still going to be 2.1533. The only difference is this right here, this scale that you set your viewport, which you'll learn about if you should already in model space and paper space. As I change this, as you can watch down here, the scale changes, but the objects don't. Imagine if you were standing, right up against, Michael Jordan, and then all of a sudden you saw him across the street. He didn't get shorter, just your perspective of him, the scale of him got short, made him look shorter. Okay, so just remember that when you're dealing with the title block, that create them in model space but insert them in layout or paper space. And that concludes my video on inserting title blocks. Thank you.